Hi, the button officially says we are live. So here we are officially live with you guys. Now, if you guys are on our live, that probably means that you guys follow us or maybe have come to see our page through some kind of a hashtag, or maybe somebody recently following our or posting about our account in their stories or something. So whatever way you guys have found us, exactly. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming. And today, speaking of our content and what we have to offer, we actually posted something about the bridge.
The bridge. It sounds like a scary movie or something.
Right?
Bridge, isn't it?
Exactly. Like someone was killed off the bridge, but who
European
did it?
Show, though.
Is it really?
Yeah, really?
It's a show.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Like Scandinavian.
Okay. I'm curious if any of you guys have actually seen that. If you guys have seen that, let us know in the comments below.
Because that's actually not what our life is about.
That is not what our live or what our post was about.
Not
at all. Our post actually earlier today, I want to encourage you guys to go check out. It talked all about how your spouse in a multiple family, like this guy, is actually the bridge between you and the children and the family.
Yes,
and
between your old and your new world,
yes,
we can say.
Yes, bridging the two of those things together. So it got us thinking, what other ways could a bridge be a great metaphor for a step family? So we actually came up with 3 other ways, and we have to say if you guys stay till the end, actually you guys are going to get 4. That's right, a 4th metaphor of
only
how
if
you
stick
guys
through.
Yes, only if you guys stick through with us, stay to the end. So grab a pen and paper right now, because we don't want you guys to miss this great information, and it's all going to make sense at the end.
Absolutely.
We're sharing with you guys how a bridge is applicable to your family.
In multiple ways.
In multiple
multiple
cultures,
ways.
in multiple ways. And before we get there, though, we just want to quickly introduce ourselves. We are the Claymans. So, and you can still hear me. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
And I am Cheyenne.
My beautiful wife, Cheyenne. My name is Kim.
Yes, and we are
The
Claymans.
Together, absolutely, now.
And what makes us unique and perhaps a little bit of some experts to speak on this subject is because we ourselves are married. We're a multicultural family because Kim is Belgian.
Ja, ik ben van België.
Ah, there you go. And ik ben van, I am from America born and raised, but now I am not living my life there. We actually live in Belgium with our 2 kids. We have a 14-month-old son, Mason Brave, together. But then you also have a beautiful daughter.
Absolutely, a very beautiful daughter from a previous lifetime, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that makes us a step family. So
yes,
here we go, doubly blended, a multicultural step family, and we want to dive right in with you guys as we bridge now from us to you guys. What does a bridge mean for your family? So
and to help you drive home this point a little bit more, we thought of like, okay, what cute little acronym could we come up with like the word bridge? Which brings us, of course, it starts with a B, and what has a B to do with a bridge? Number 1.
Hopefully not break.
Yeah, totally.
We don't want a bridge to break. Is?
Number 1, being the bridge, is that you as a spouse are bridging 2 of your lifetimes. Meaning, it's my job, it's my duty to bridge my former life, my beautiful daughter, with my current life and my future. Is that a beautiful way to say it?
Yeah, and that's actually what our post was about today. So the first metaphor is actually something that if you guys follow us, if you guys checked out our post, you guys already knew. But we go into it deeper actually in our post from today. But for the metaphor number 2, or part of the acronym, is the letter R, of course, in the word bridge.
The R, yes. Since we are a multicultural step family, we find ourselves, or I find myself, to be very lucky to have married this beautiful woman, which I can now proudly call my wife, absolutely. And of course, in a marriage, there are going to be times that it's going to be, here comes the R, really hard.
Yes.
Of course, I think it would be very naive to think that a marriage is only going to be consisting out of good times.
Sunshine
Of course,
and
there are
rainbows.
plenty of good times. If you find yourself lucky enough, like me, I, myself, maybe we, us.
Oh, he's getting brownie points.
But anyways, there are going to be times that it's going to be hard. It's something that you know up front. It's something that you prep for. It's something that you can expect.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's like how a bridge going to be really hard. Is a bridge really hard?
It should be. I don't
be,
think
really
people would.
strong.
I don't think people would describe a bridge being soft. That's for sure. But we came to this part of the bridge of the R with being that it's really hard through a resource we wanted to share with you guys. And we're trying to see. Not sure if you guys can see. There it is. So Mr. Timothy Keller wrote this amazing book called The Meaning of Marriage. And in there, he actually covers how he had his own bridge analogy. And the analogy he talks about is how when pressure on an actual physical structure of a bridge, so you think about how many cars and trucks go across bridges day after day, eventually all that pressure is going to cause a crack in the bridge.
Small, tiny little cracks that you barely don't see, which is also the case when you're not married, right? You think like you're living in your own perfect little universe. It's all about you and everything in your life you can adjust to you. But then you get married and you see like, oh wow, wait, there's another way of doing things, or what? Excuse me. Are you saying that my way is not like the perfect way?
Highway is not the highway, to use another.
Excuse me. Do not choose that highway.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter like who you marry. I believe. No, I only want to be married to this beautiful woman. But there will always be like imperfections that rise to the surface.
Yeah, no, I mean, what I think is very interesting in this fact is something that we learned, I think, from some of our coaching clients. We had a client recently that said she had to confront a lot of cracks basically in her own foundation, in her own soul, her own heart, and really she was realizing that she had so many triggers that was happening with her boyfriend. And what it is at first she had this mindset of, oh wait, is it because of him? Is it because I'm a step family? Or is it actually because there's something deeper underneath that actually is off within me, a part that is not healed fully, and now it's being exposed because there's pressure being put against it.
Yes, ma'am. So the pressure kind of like reveals the cracks.
Which brings us to
letter number three. There we had the B is because of you, spouse. It's like really hard at sometimes, but at the same time it's I because of it's
interesting.
Very much interesting, of course. Like what rises to the surface? Where are those cracks? Do we know where they're at? Do we even know how they got there?
I even feel like another I could be like introspective, like right? Like going deep within thyself,
Absolutely.
And I don't remember what pastor it was. I want to say my pastor from LA, Pastor Matthew Barnett, preached a sermon one time about what is revealed can be healed. And so you think about the pressure revealing the cracks within yourself. It doesn't cause the cracks. That's often what we think when we are, butting up against each other. You have those cracks that come from the pressure that happens in a marriage or in a step family, and we think, oh, that person made me that way.
Because of them.
Right. But actually, it's just the pressure you're under is revealing that those cracks within.
Were there before.
Yeah. But the only way that those cracks can be healed is if they're revealed.
Exactly. When we become aware of them, when we become conscious of what is going on within us. I didn't know all these things were alive within me. And what does that mean? And how do I cope with them? Right. Can I just like blame my wife and our marriage and all that stuff?
Hope not.
I don't believe so.
And
absolutely not.
That actually reminds me of now point or letter number 4. So if you guys are still listening, we're actually going to tie up the last 2 points with the last 2 letters. Almost. Sorry. We're actually giving them like 6, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, because
it's really like interesting. That was the I there.
Yes,
and that brings us to the D as in bridge, because
As in, it's dying to the old you.
Dying to who you used to be, the person with all those cracks and all those imperfections. You will not remain that same person. No one ever remains the same. Right.
And having that expectation is actually what could make your marriage die.
It's like an illusion that you have there as an expectation, and I don't think that's a very healthy one. What is healthy is that to know that things will rise to the surface, things that do not serve you no more. Okay, maybe one time in your life all these things were there to protect you and all those things, but they're not no more. I think when you're in this interesting, beautiful relationship that we call a marriage, it's time to let those things go. Time to let your old wounds, your old hurts, they don't serve you no more.
Yeah, but in a loving, accepting, unconditional marriage, or really truly the definition of marriage that we believe in and that God intended, is that that's the safety net, So when you do reveal these hurts, right, that is the space where they can be healed, is in that sacred space.
Yes, ma'am, that's what I like what you say there. Sacred space. It's like how we believe, what grows, like what is going on between us, in between, in the middle of us, where we create that space to give each other, to like be who you truly are. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no blame, there's no shame, there's no nothing, no guilt going on there. It's like what rises to the surface, and what can we then let go, so that together we can go on stronger and better than ever before.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. So that reminds me of now coming to the point for the letter G.
The letter G was, because we're talking about a bridge, I cannot not talk about gapping.
Yes.
Gap. Bridges, gaps.
Bringing two places together where there is a gap formed is basically what a bridge is actually physically for. And that same type of a bridge can be also used in a emotional and a mental and spiritual sense as well.
Yeah, and being in a multicultural step family ourselves, we know that there's many times when you find yourself in a situation that you say like, okay, I didn't know that my life would lead up to this point. I didn't know that it would be this challenging. Okay, so then what do? Then do you stop and do you go and sit in a corner and blame and see whatever all the things that are wrong? Or do you make a bridge and do you gap from where you are at, where you find yourself at this moment, and just focus on where would you like to go? That's another G, right? Where would you like to go, so that you can then backtrack, focus on where you want to be, focus on your intention, your dream, your belief. Where are we going in this family?
Where you want to be.
Exactly. And then we can backtrack so that we can bridge that gap.
Bridge the gap, exactly. Which
not gap the bridge.
We don't want to gap the bridge. we want to bridge the gap, which actually brings us to our last letter, and our last point of the evening is ultimately.
Actually, we've already been talking about point number 4. So thank you for staying all the way to the end.
Yes.
The E, the end, exactly.
The end in mind, the end in sight.
Awesome. Yeah. Tell it, preach it, sis.
Yeah, just focusing on where you want to go. And I think we would both want to implore you to think about who you want to be when you get there. Who do you want your kids to be? Who do you want your spouse to be, on this journey?
Who do you want to be?
Who do you want to be, and that's something to think about with all these steps through the bridge. You have the B, because of your spouse, you guys are all in this thing together. You guys are all in there together.
Absolutely.
And yes, acknowledging that the R, man, it's going to be really hard no matter who you got married to, especially in a step family. This could be your second or your third marriage, and no matter who you got married to, it's going to be hard.
I have to say, like, number 1, isn't life really hard at some times?
Yes.
And number 2, aren't the hardest things
worth it
like most?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And it's worth doing, and it's worth getting there, because as we said with our our third letter is it's interesting, and again introspective and going deep within, and that's the only way when something is hard you can go there. Because if it's surface level relationships, surface level conversations, you're not going to go deep. And so the I is going to make things interesting.
Exactly.
And when things get revealed and when things are seen, that's when you can go to the D, the dying to the old you. Who you used to be. Thanks for the love, guys. Who you used to be. Maybe
who doesn't serve you no longer.
Exactly. Who do you need to let go? Kim, a few weeks ago, he had a really poignant quote that I actually put on our social media. I put on this very page where you said, don't let your past dictate your future. You know, and so there's another D, dictate, but basically use that bridge, these steps too. You think of a bridge, guys, a bridge is full of many steps or many miles or many, concrete blocks that are laid down. So there is literally steps in a bridge to get you from one place to another. And that's where the G comes into play, is gapping, right? Bridging those two places that once was a gap, is bridging those places together. The person you were, the person you married, of course, and how can you guys journey together?
You are evolving together as a family. Where are you going? It's a game of focus. So we always say.
It's what we say. We have to remind ourselves.
Do you focus on what is like stopping you now, or do you focus on where you are going?
Yes.
Because no matter where we find ourselves in life, I think most people are not where they want to see themselves. Something that we came to realize, or at least I came to realize, is that God does not put us there because we want to, but He puts us there because that is the way that He sees that we can make most progress, that we can grow more.
Yes. And He knows where we're going. So it's like where we're at in this process, we just have to realize that He's also bridging the gap for us from where we were to where we're going and where our family is going to go together.
We are doing the hard work though. We are building the bridge, we are building bridges, and we are here also to help you build your bridge.
That's right. So if this resonated with you guys, if you guys love this bridge analogy and it's like, oh my gosh, I love this, I want other people to embrace this too, please go ahead and reshare this live, save it, repost it in your stories, and feel free to take the next step. And actually, we're going to go even deeper into this and more of our secrets of how we have gone through the highs and lows and the roller coasters of figuring out how we went from surviving to thriving in our multicultural step family.
In our own multicultural step family. And we are going to share with you 5 secrets, 5 lessons learned, 5 pitfalls, 5 bridges that we
gapped, that we brought together,
disclosed, uncovered,
uncut.
That's the way, right?
But yeah, we're going to share with you guys something that's actually tangible that you guys at the end of that webinar can actually take home and immediately use, can immediately apply. And we actually know this. We know this because we actually just finished our first masterclass with 6 individuals that applied all of these principles in their families, and they've already been getting results from them, their spouses, their kids. So we actually know that this works. We actually have proof that proof is in the pudding, the proof is that people's lives are being changed. We want that for you guys too.
Exactly. Not just for us. It's been working for many families. But the webinar that you've been talking about coming up next Sunday the 13th of June, June 13th.
Yes.
You'll find a link in our tree or in our bio, in our website. It's like you can't miss it. And I'm looking forward to meeting you there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And when in doubt, if you guys are looking for the link, can't seem to find it, maybe you're technologically unsavvy, I have moments like that, just go ahead and DM us. Be more than happy to send it over to you guys. Again, make sure you reshare this. like this. This is the way we can help more people, more families thrive, is by getting in front of more families like yourselves, getting on your screens, sharing together. And so please share, please like, please comment. Let us know if there's other metaphors that all of a sudden popped up in your brain from the bridge analogy. We would love to hear,
what did we miss?
What did we miss? What's something that you guys can teach us and we can share in the future. But ultimately, we're just thank you for sharing a few minutes with us tonight, and we look forward to connecting with you guys
Thank you so
very
much.
soon. Have a beautiful night, guys.
Bye-bye.